Hi, welcome to episode 98 of A Corner of Knit and Tea. I'm Laura, also known as Fluffy K on Ravelry, Fluffy Kira on Instagram and Twitter. I blog over at thecornerofknitandtea.com, and that's where this episode and every episode show notes will be. I have an Etsy shop called The Stash Buckler Adventures in Yarn, where I sell my hand-spun yarns. And we have a Ravelry group called The Corner of Knit and Tea. Hi, how are you? It is Sunday, July 24th. It is the last day of the Tour de France, and it is hot, hot, hot here in Kansas. I hope you are doing well. It has been just over a week since I last recorded, and there has been lots going on, so I have lots to tell you. Last week when I left, I recorded on Saturday morning because I was going to a concert Saturday evening, which was fabulous. I was worried that we were going to be out in the sun, and as it turned out, our seats were under one of the balcony ledges, so we were shaded the entire time. It was a hot and muggy evening. It was probably up in the 90s, so it was definitely warm, but we were shaded the whole time. We had drinks, and we just had a great time. I did bring some socks with me to knit. I did not do too much knitting. It was a little too hot and humid. My hands kept getting sweaty with the yarn, and I didn't really want to continue on that, so we just enjoyed it. And then Sunday I got home very late, and then Sunday morning I got up early to head out to watch my husband drone race. And it was a great day. It was really, really hot. It was over 100 degrees. We brought our pop-up tent, but I will give you a public service announcement. Pop-up tents may actually get you in the shade, but unless they are specifically billed as UV protection, they are not. So I sat for 5 hours in a tank top in the shade and burned. So most of this week has been fairly uncomfortable. I had several days where I really didn't even want to wear clothes. I did, although I stayed home from work one day. And now I'm in kind of the peeling gross phase, and I still don't really want to wear clothes. So it has been quite the week. Because of that, and because the last weekend was so busy, I actually slowed down a little bit on spinning this week, so I didn't meet all my goals for Tour de Fleece, but we will talk about that in the spinning section. I did, however, get some knitting done this week, and I actually have a finished object for you. So that is kind of what's been going on in my life. This weekend has been much, much quieter. Sadly, our refrigerator was making ominous noises this week. It started about a week and a half ago. And so yesterday, my husband and I went out and bought a new refrigerator, which will be delivered in a couple weeks. I hope our fridge holds on that long. And then we've actually both been playing a lot of Pokemon Go, and we're going to the Arboretum this afternoon, even in the heat, because it is a hotbed of Pokemon Go activity, and we are excited to go. So I will watch a little bit more of the tour today. I do have some spinning to do, plus my usual kind of laundry and grocery chores, but that's what's been going on with us. Before I get into the show, I just wanted to say that next weekend the show will be a day late. I'm going up to Chicago this coming weekend to go see my sister and Roxy, and my parents are coming into town as well. So it's going to be a family weekend, and I will be arriving home late on Sunday night or early on Monday morning. So I will be recording the podcast on Monday, August 1st, and dropping it then. So it will be a day late next week, but I hope you will understand. And I hope I have lots to show you because we are taking the train up and back, so that's 7 hours in each direction. So I have knitting projects aplenty. So let's get started. That was a lot of chatter. Today I am drinking Ashby's white pomegranate tea. I believe I have drunk this before. My husband bought me a big basket of tea and cookies for my birthday, and this is one of the teas that comes in there, and I am drinking it in my Loopy U spring fling mug, which I got. I went to the Loopy U spring fling in spring of 2010, so it's actually been a while, but it's a great mug. Ooh, I heated that up quite hot. It is very tasty. It is a little chilly in the air conditioning indoors, which is why I decided to go ahead and stick with hot tea. But I'm going to have to wait for that to cool a little bit because that is really, really hot. So we'll just set that down over here. But again, that's Ashby's White Pomegranate. So let's get into the knitting. The first exciting thing that I have is a finished object. I finished my Camp Loopy project, which is a blanket for my, I dropped something, I'll have to pick that up later, which is a blanket for my nephew. This is the Garter Ridge. Oh, and I just looked at it and there is a mistake in one of the rows way back. We won't even think about it. It'll just be the Persian flaw. This is the Garter Ridge baby blanket by Orange Flower on Ravelry. It is a free pattern. And I knit it in Dream in Color Classy in the Tart colorway. I'm not showing you the section with the mistake in it. This is folded up into quarters, so it's actually quite big. I haven't taken measurements, but I was hoping for about 3 feet by 3 feet. It looks like it's a little bit wider than it is longer. I finished this on Saturday night. No, I finished this on Friday night, and then on Saturday I ran it through the washer and dryer. Yes, I ran it through the washer and dryer. You heard that right. I went with a superwash yarn because it is a baby blanket, so it needs to be washable and dryable. And if for any reason it wasn't going to hold up in the washer and dryer, I wanted it to happen to me rather than my sister. So I did. I put it through the washer and the dryer, and it came out absolutely lovely. It didn't even really need any kind of blocking. I'm going to take photos today, and actually I think I'm going to pack it up and take it up to Chicago with me this weekend and give it to my sister. It is a little early because my nephew is not due until end of October, beginning of November. So I am about 3 months early, but I wanted to take it up and give it to her because there's no point in having it around here. So yes, that is my Camp Loopy project. That came in at, let me think about this, 915 yards, which came out to, I believe, 863 meters for Stash Dash. And I am especially proud of getting this done in not requiring the whole month to get this done, particularly because I've been spinning so much. This has pretty much been the only thing that I work on in my knitting time, which is every day at lunch and at knit nights and a little bit on the weekends if I'm tired of spinning. But yes, that is the Garter Ridge Baby Afghan. And that is done. So I'll take pictures of that and then wrap that up. And that will be for my new nephew. So that is the finished project of this time. Let's move on to the other knits. I actually have not put any progress on this, but I will show you anyway because it is a review yarn. This is the knit that I will be working on this week and hope to finish with my train rides. I figure 14 hours on a train plus my lunch times and knit night this week, I ought to be able to finish this. This is review yarn. It is Briggs and Little Durasport. Briggs and Little was kind enough to send me 2 skeins. I decided to do a 1 skein project. So this skein is actually up for grabs, and I will be discussing that in just a minute. This is in the denim colorway. Durasport is a single. It is a merino nylon, and it looks very tweedy. This makes it look a little bit purpler than it is. It's a very dark blue jeans color. So faded denim is perfect. And I decided to do kind of a rustic garter shawl with an applied lace border. And I showed you this last week. I think maybe I've put 2 rows on it. I really have done nothing on it this week because I was trying to finish the baby blanket. But now that that's done, like I said, this will be the project this week. And I am hoping by the time I come home on Monday the 1st to record that I have a finished shawl to show you. That is actually a pretty good representation of the color. Might be just a smidge purple, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So, and I do not have pictures of this shawl. It is a relatively unknit pattern. I believe there are only 3 or 4 projects, and a couple of them are the designer's projects. I specifically picked this one because I thought I might do this for one of the Harry Potter prompts, which was due today. So spoiler alert, it didn't make it. They wanted you to pick something that had less than 30 projects on Ravelry, so I went looking through shawls for things that did not have very many projects and found this one and thought it would work really nicely with the yarn. So I'm going to keeping on with this one and hopefully show it to you next week. Now, the skein for you. I'm going to do this giveaway in the Ravelry group, so I will go ahead and post a thread for that today when I upload this episode. And the prompt for the thread will be tell me what you would make with this skein of Durasport if you won it. Again, it is for one skein of Durasport, courtesy of Briggs & Little. They were very generous. It is 80% pure wool, 20% nylon. It is a single ply, and it is 430 yards. They suggest this could be shawls, this could be winter accessories, or this could be socks. It is a sport weight yarn. So again, I will start the thread for that. I will give this away on August 1st. So stay tuned to find out who wins the skein. Which also gives me motivation to finish my project so I can show you my finished project and award the skein in the same episode, which will be episode 99. We're almost to 100. So I decided to do this giveaway today and award it in episode 99 so that when we get to episode 100, I can do a giveaway of a little bit different sort. So stay tuned for that. The final work in progress this week, and this saw just a smidge of work this week, is my sock. This is Harry Potter. It's the Opal Harry Potter line, and this is in the Tonks colorway, and it is self-striping and just a lot of fun. And as you can see, I finished the leg and did the cuff. I made sort of a short leg. It's about, I'd say, between 4 and 5 inches. I did kind of a shorter leg on this one because I would like to get a pair of socks for Roxy out of this same ball. So I'm going to finish the socks for me and then pull the ball in half and weigh it into 2 halves. Her socks won't match. That's okay. I'm not even sure I'm going to make mine matching. It just depends where I end up in the pattern when I go through, because I don't want to waste a bunch of yarn if I have to move it to get to the next pattern. So we'll just have to see what happens. And I'm not entirely sure exactly how long the pattern is repeating, because so far I do not have a repeat of the pattern and I'm already halfway through the sock. So, yes, I put a heel on it, heel flap, and a garter stitch heel flap, or slipped stitch heel flap, and turned the heel, and I am now ready to work on the gusset, but have not done that yet. So that is my Tonks sock, and I probably knit like about this much of it and the heel, and I think I knit that on the way to the drone race last weekend, maybe, and I worked on the heel a little bit at one lunch this week. So this is the second project that I will take with me on the train. Like I said, my first priority is to get Zale Anita finished, that shawl that I was just showing you. And I also have, because I'm afraid we're taking the train up on Friday. We're spending all day Saturday there. And then we are taking the train home late Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening and late at night. The train gets back about midnight into Kansas City. Because I'm afraid I'll run out of projects, because heaven forbid I run out of projects, I'm taking the shawl, I'm taking these socks, and then I actually have 2 baby hats that I'm going to take with me. One is a hat in the leftover yarn from the last baby sweater that I finished, which was for a little girl. It was the Fido yarn in the Wild Orchid colorway, and I have just enough left of that to do a cute little baby hat to match the sweater. And when I finished the baby blanket, I finished, and I have about 75 yards left from one at 75 yards, 65 yards from one of the skeins. And I decided that I'm going to do a matching hat for my nephew. So those 2 I will throw in the bag with me because they're very small partials of the skein, and that's easy. I just need a needle and a marker, and I'll do some simple hats for them. So I'm taking a shawl, a pair of socks, and 2 hats for 3 days away. You know me, can't be without knitting. So yes, so this is a tiny bit of progress on this sock, and I will continue to work on these and hopefully finish these. Now I have a whole new set of projects that I want to start on August 1st. I have my 3rd Camp Loopy project. And I have Roxy's birthday sweater. So those are things where I will be winding the yarn, and I will talk to you about them on my next podcast because it will be August 1st, so I can start them then. Next month is not a Harry Potter month, it's a Harry Potter break month. It is the Ravelry Games, which is knitting along with the Olympic Games, and I'm going to make my Camp Loopy project my Ravelry project, and then I want to get Roxy's birthday sweater finished, and then as soon as I finish those two projects, then I need to cast on for my Rhinebeck sweater, which by my count, I will have between, well, it'll technically be about, if I can finish those projects by mid to late August, I'm thinking second or third week in August, I will have about 7 weeks till Rhinebeck. My sweater for Rhinebeck is actually a tunic, and it is about 2,000 yards of worsted weight. It is a cabled tunic. And I really hope it's going to be cool enough at Rhinebeck to wear it, because if I actually make the effort to knit this sweater, yeah. So my plan is to get Roxy's birthday sweater done and my last Camp Loopy done, and then I will be able to focus my mostly full attention to my sweater. I'll probably have some socks going as well, just for quick projects. But my plan is then to focus on the sweater up to, if needed, when I go to Rhinebeck. And then as soon as I finish that sweater, I will work on winter gear for the babies, for Roxy and the baby, because I'll be seeing them in November, and as of yet, I haven't decided if I'm going to do Nanny Swaymo this year. As you know, I am a moderator over in the National November Knit a Sweater in November month, and I have done one every year since 2010. However, I am about to do 2 to 3 sweaters right before Nanny Swaymo, including that huge tunic for myself. So I have not 100% decided if I'm going to do a sweater this year. If I don't, I will do another project that month. I ordered a beautiful poncho kit last year and never made it. And that is, I think, between 12 and 1,500 yards. So I might do that during sweater month. And it's not really a sweater, but the truth is I don't get to participate for prizes or anything anyway because I'm a moderator. So I might just knit a poncho for sweater month. I don't know. We'll put a pin in that and come back to that because, again, I am talking July 24th about what I want to knit in November. So I suppose I could give it a little time, yeah? Okay. So let's move on to spinning. I need to reach down and get something, so hold 2 seconds. Fiber down, fiber down. Okay. Let's talk about spinning. So this week is the final week of the tour. And I am basically, even though it's the 24th and I still have some tour left to watch and I have a spin that I'm working on, I'm going to call my tour done because I am not going to finish anything else for the tour. I'm currently in the middle of a 6-ounce spin and I probably have between 2 and 3 ounces in singles. I hope to finish the 3rd ounce tonight and maybe start on the 2nd bump. So I'm not gonna finish that tonight. My hope is that I will finish the current spin that I'm working on, that I will ply it up on Thursday before I leave for Chicago. So that will finish a spin this week, but I'm going to go ahead and call my tour done. So I will show you the scans that I finished this week, and then I will talk to you about my totals. So I think I showed this one last week. It was fresh off the bobbin, and it had not been washed. This is Velvet Waistcoat. It is from Owl About Yarn. It was a braid that she generously gave me. She gave me 2, one for me and one for a giveaway, and we did the giveaway months ago, and I decided to spin it up. It is super soft and squishy. It is Polworth and Merino. It is approximately a sport weight, and I want to say I got about 325 yards, 300-ish yards. And this one is up in the shop. It is burgundies and kind of a hazelnut chocolate color, and like an espresso dark chocolate color, and the monitor is not doing it justice, but there are some beautiful pictures of it up, and it is in the shop. So I did show you this one last week. I finished, so I came home on Sunday night, last Sunday night, with that terrible sunburn, and I felt horrible, and I needed to do the second half of the Black Shetland. I think I showed you that on the bobbin last week. And the Shetland was not the softest fiber. It wasn't super scratchy, but it was just a little bit. And I was already hot and itchy and hurting. And I was like, I don't want itchy fiber. I want to start with something softer. So I did start with something softer. But midweek, I bucked up and I finished the black Shetland, which is actually a very, very dark brown. I don't know that you'll be able to see on this monitor, but it is like a very, very dark chocolate brown. And so just to show you, I brought the 3 other skeins, even though I didn't do them this week. These are my, hold on. These are my natural colors. So this is the Fog, which is a gray, and like I said, it's kind of that nebulous mushroom gray brown. And this is mixed, this is a Corriedale Cross. Yeah, Corriedale Cross. And I actually ordered a pound of this from Fat Cat that arrived this week. So I'm going to be working on this in coming weeks. I think what I'm going to do is alternate this, do a bobbin of this, and then do a bobbin of something for the shop, and then do a bobbin of this, and then a bobbin of something for the shop until I finish the pound. So, and my plan is actually to do 2 4-ounce bobbins and then ply them together into a single skein on my mini spinner. So I'll have 2 8-ounce skeins. So yes, so that is the Fog. That's going to be the color, the main color of the shawl. Then I had the Cream Shetland, which is from the Shetland sampler from Wool Gatherings. I had the Moorit Shetland, which is from, again, from Wool Gatherings. It's part of the sampler. And then the third one from the sampler is this dark black Shetland, but it's a dark chocolate brown. So these are the colors for my shawl. And the other thing that I brought over is this is the Tide Pool. Like I said, it is organic merino top. And I think, let me open this. Excuse the crinkling. I want to pull out just a little bit so that you can actually see what it is without it being in the plastic bag. So it is this beautiful kind of bluey green, and it's coming across pretty well. It might be just a little bit greener than it is on the monitor. And I am matching that with my 3 contrast colors, and I think that is going to be amazing. So it's going to be those 4 for my contrast colors, and then this is the body of the shawl. So, and it doesn't, when I put these 2 together, you can kind of see that there's a difference between them. It doesn't show as much elsewhere. But so that is going to be my Hap shawl. So I will spin this one up as well. I will alternate this in with the Fog skeins. And like I said, this is Southern Cross Fiber in Tide Pool. It is beautiful. And I think I have hit a winning combination with these. I will try and photo some of it so that, and there will be photos on my Instagram as I move along in this project. So that is that part done. So the other skein that I decided to spin up this week, and I showed it to you last week, was that Braid of Hello yarn fiber. And on one end it was cools, it was greens and blues, and they were all kind of minty and bright. And then on the other end it was some warms, which were yellows and kind of a peach tone and a pink. And that is finished. And I like it more skeined up now than I thought I would, because at first I thought, oh, I really screwed it up by going barber pole, because I thought it was going to end up too muddy, but it actually ended up very nice. It has some very nice dark spots and a few really light spots, and it's got a lot of those pink and peach tones along with yellows and greens, and I really, really like it. It is 397 yards. It is approximately a fingering weight, and it will be going up in the shop this evening, and I will have pictures on Instagram if you are interested. It is not spoken for, so this is my final Tour de Fleece spin. I will just show you very briefly. This is the one that I'm working on. This is the second bump of fiber. It is Gherkin's Bucket. It is called Changed. It is a tonal red. It's kind of hard to see, but it does have some dark spots and some light spots. And I am, like I said, about 2.5 ounces in. This is the other 3 ounces. So to bring my tour to a close, my total for the tour, and I did fall off a little bit this week. I was hoping to do a little bit more, but I wrote my totals down in my book to bring to you today. I spun 27.9 ounces, we'll call it 28 ounces, which is just 4 ounces shy of 2 pounds. So I did pretty well there. I was hoping to hit 2 pounds, and if I'd gotten the Gherkin's bucket spin in, I would have, but I didn't quite make it. For a total of 2,507 yards, which, let's translate that to meters for Stash Dash, is 2,293 meters. So my total for Stash Dash, as of this week, with the finished baby blanket and all of the finished spins, my total for Stash Dash is 8,617 meters. I am absolutely thrilled. I have almost a month left, and I have the Zale Anita, which will be about 400. Well, let's see, that's 430 yards, so that's right around 400 meters. I have the spin that I'm working on now, which is 6 ounces of fiber, so that should be at least 400 or 500 yards, which will get me another 300 or 400 meters. And then I have probably a couple more spins and maybe my Camp Loopy project, so I should pretty easily hit 10,000 meters. So I am super stoked about that. I will not hit 15,000. That was not a goal for this summer. I barely missed 10,000 meters last summer. Like, I want to say I was about 9,800 meters. So to break 10,000 meters this summer is fine with me. And so I am psyched about that. So that's my episode for you this week. Remember that I will be doing the giveaway thread for the Briggs & Little Durasport. And again, the prompt for that, it will be in the Ravelry group, so watch for it there. And the prompt will be, what would you make with this skein of yarn? So, and I hope to see lots of different patterns and ideas in there, and I will announce the winner next week. Reminder, podcast will be delayed by a day. I will be podcasting on August 1st. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week with lots of crafting. And until I see you next time, happy knitting, happy spinning, happy sipping, and I'll see you next time. Bye!